welcome back. You are still tuned in to Fantastic Fridays, and we're in the segment called Talk the Ting with Kim, where we're discussing toxic parenting. While we went to the break, we got some comments on the live. Sean says, these parents don't have any love and respect for the children. They don't have they don't care about their children because not every boy and girl have a mother figure in their life or father figure in their life as well. And Joanna says that's why we have so much depression happening nowadays. So guys, I love that Joanna mentioned that, because remember, we've been saying that mental health is currently an issue in Jamaica. Yeah. We're seeing where it's coming from. So I should say that's why we have so much depression happening nowadays. Too many unresolved trauma. And that is once again a topic that we covered. That there's a ridiculous amount of trauma that we all have experienced. We don't even know so we experience it. Yeah. We just have certain ways that we go through life and then we think it's normal. We're like, oh, it's our personality. It's who we are. This is the path I chose. But we don't understand that there were things that affect us. And the thing is, most times when we're traumatized, especially depending on the age, you don't remember what traumatized you. Right? Like even something as simple as my fear of lizards, right? I always thought it's just a fear what I have. I am deathly afraid of lizards. However, one of my brothers told me, say, Kim, when you were younger, a lizard fell on you. I don't remember that.
I think that should actually make you braver now. You know?
No, he said I panicked. He said it fell on my head, and I just kept trying to but it wouldn't kind of lizard stick on to whatever it is. And guys, I honestly don't remember any of that. But then that's something that could have happened when I was too young to remember, but it planted a seed in me. And ever since, I just have this fear. People ask me these days, like, why are you so afraid of them? And I really can't put into words why. I really can't. So we have to understand that there's a lot of things that happen. Whether, as I said, we probably can't remember them, but it does have an impact along the way. So far we've been highlighting some things that we may have experienced as children, or things that probably you as a parent are guilty of, right? So I love the feedback so far, guys. Continue to send your comments, and know that you can also send them via WhatsApp 876-792-3530. So another thing that we want to highlight, some parents, they don't allow you to express negative emotions. So this ties back into what we were saying right before the break, especially when it comes to fathers who don't really, overall, both mothers and fathers are guilty of it. But I think fathers more so, who don't allow their sons to cry and stuff like that, you know? And that is one of the reasons I had respect for Wayne Marshall when he says, like him and Tommy was talking about parenting, and he was saying when he was growing up, he never have them conversations there with him father, but now he saw how it affected him, and he is now making an effort to ensure he's not doing the same thing. And I admire that. He may not even get it right, you know, but the fact that he's trying, I admire that, because a lot of people just take it as, well, I went through it and me alright, so we don't even know if we're alright.
And the thing is, once you try, it will lead it towards a positive impact. Because having a better interaction with your child can only improve them life. You're doing positive interaction, you're not doing negative interaction. It's gonna have a positive impact in the end. Might not work to the full extent, but at least the child will learn. Communication is a good thing. And
he's still, as I said, more likely going to make some errors, but the fact that he's trying, and you know what he's automatically doing by even just trying? He's automatically instilling that his sons will be better fathers, because they're going to see that effort. And reality is, every generation tries to improve on the last generation. So what they see as a norm is, boy, daddy used to reason with me, and daddy used to ask me what happened to me, and force me to express myself, because it's not just, tell me what you're feeling, what you're thinking, why you're angry, why you whatever, and then them say, okay, well, this is a norm. No, that becomes their norm. And as we say, every generation try to improve. So the next, when them have for them kids, they're gonna do something better, and then you realize that you get it as a result in society, because every generation improve like that. You can only imagine at least 3 generations down the line, we have great fathers who are having conversations, especially with them sons, right? Which is more than enough girl and girl in a bungle. Right, because that is reality as well.
And then the crazy thing about it now, when the child is there with you, right? You are bringing up this child. The child now, if you know, say you never get that as that good treatment, they're growing up, you basically have the opportunity to start the child as a fresh plate, a clean slate. So here are you now having the opportunity, as them say, to break the negative cycle and try their best. That's it.
So that's something I really want you guys to look into. So, and I say it all the time, guys. You see that whole concept, the men in society right now are suffering because of how they were grown.
Yeah.
It's a reality. We see it in suicidal rates. Men commit more suicide. The men aren't expressing themselves. When you check it, the men are the ones that aren't great at conflict resolution because nobody taught them. You are told to just tough it out. Big man no ball, or you have to defend yourself and show say you're the baddest thing round. And we're seeing it in society right now. And what is it reaping us?
Problem. Big up to my they had a course at my school, or a class I would say, personal development, PD. It was one of the most relaxing classes because basically most of the time you're in a room with just a carpeted room with like pillows and stuff like that, and that is high school from first form to third form. It should have continued up to 6, but I appreciate it from first form to third form.
My class never set up so.
But most of the time you come in, they do look at videos, them you watch little shows and so sometime most of the time. But throughout one of the classes, or they had sessions I recall on what they call anger management, conflict resolution, and one of the conflict them they used to tell us, listen me, sometimes people tell you something, they'll say thank you, have a nice day, and move on with your life.
Amen.
If that's what you believe, move on. And I say if that could have just been taught, we have less these deaths and people are come back for people. Because at the end of the day, people say something, it's in the ear, and you decide whether or not you want to pull it and engage with it.
Exactly.
Let the people them say it out of their mouth and you move on with your life. You don't have to grab onto it and then make and tussle with that and lead yourself to react. Some things you can't make it move on from. You just,
Exactly.
Big up to Miss
Drilly TT, thank you for joining on the live. But yeah, man, so parents, we need to allow our kids to express negative emotion. Even if it's an outburst, guess what? We're not going to say it right.
Yeah.
But that's how they saw it fit at that time. You can teach them.
Yeah, you can learn from that.
Say, okay, you don't need to just shout after somebody or scream or just drop yourself on the ground and ball.
Right.
There's other ways to, talk to me.
Yeah.
Right? And I also first wonder why we don't know what happened in our kids' life because you never allow that avenue. Yeah. It was never there when I was younger. So why when I'm a teenager now I may encounter certain things, you think me to come talk to you. When me did have a scrape knee or somebody push me, I'm gonna come to you and say, boy, daddy, so and so push me, you disregarded it. So now when me tell you say, boy, say the neighbor will look me and he want certain thing. Why you think I'm gonna come to you with that? Something way more serious as well. If you never open the door for simpler conversation.
We have a voice note here from Sean. Let me just go ahead and play this one sent in. Let's take a listen.
They look at their children like their children is nobody. They are human beings. All some of these parents do look down on their children like they are nobody.
Exactly. And listen, Sean, that is the truth. I love the feedback as well that you dropped on the live. You said some fathers rape their daughter, right? And then you also have fathers who have, we see it in society more, the fights and parents killing their children or children killing their parents. We see it more often. And it's a part of toxic parenting. It's something that came from in the past, and the reality is a lot of our children are suffering, right? So as I said, we need to allow the kids to express their negative emotions. Parents who refuse to nurture their child's emotional needs and make light of their negative emotions are setting up a future where the child will feel unable to express what they need. There is nothing wrong with helping children to see the positive side of any situation. However, being completely dismissive of a child's negative feelings and emotional needs can lead to mental health issues such as depression and anxiety and make it more difficult for them to appropriately handle negativity as adults. So with this one, we're talking about something called, I mean, we just drop toxic on everything,
Yeah.
but it's now something that's being referred to as toxic positivity.
Toxic positivity.
Yeah, man, it's something
Why
I've
you do
seen. Right, it's something I've seen. I said once again, guys, these aren't medical terms.
Run back that one there
But
again.
you do
Kimmie.
have
Toxic
toxic positivity.
Mhm.
So in that call, when you go through something and people are always like, well, just be grateful, right? Because there's people worse than you.
Mhm.
There is truth in that.
Mhm.
However, most times it's done to tell you, nobody kill yourself about that. Nobody worry about that. But it's really something affecting you.
Okay.
So it's like you're not even dealing with what is bothering you. You're just being told there's people worse than you, so appreciate what go on.
Okay, so for example, if you have been through, as I say, the emotional trauma or even physical abuse,
Yeah.
to say, okay, well, you know, what we did go through that when we were young. So you shut up and go, okay.
So it's nonchalant. So
Okay,
it's toxic
I
positivity.
get you.
So even I mean, you can even see it from probably a religious perspective as well, where you have, I mean, I'm not going to say you know you can't pray through everything, but some parents need to have actual conversations, right? Most time parents be like, oh, just pray about it,
Yeah.
and yes, that's a great solution. I always go to God in prayer, but you actually need conversations too.
Right. I mean, in that case, then we will look at it to say, while you're mentioning this, the spiritual, okay, go ahead and pray. The child also needs that emotional support from a parent.
And guess what?
Yeah.
You need to learn what to pray about. So, as the parent who have some knowledge, because at this point I've experienced a fair amount of life, probably. I can now say, all right, guess what? We could work through the emotion. So when you do go to God in prayer, you have, you know, that say, boy, mommy upset me. Boy, God, you know, boy, mommy don't understand me, and I don't know why me I pray for ask you, you know, for help her to understand. Whatever it is, it helps. So it's not just, as I said, toxic positivity. You're going through something, but because it never detrimental, just get thanks.
Yeah.
That's all I'm telling you. Just get thanks. But it's not helping you to cope through the issue. So yes, there is something now called toxic positivity, and I get the foundation of it. You know, you have those positive people that seem like nothing go wrong in their life, but the reality is things can go wrong. Are you coping with it, or are you just brushing it under the rug and just being positive regardless? And that is also a cause of certain mental health issues, right?
Right.
So, as Joanna said, they don't allow us to express because we will start to remember past things they would not expect us to remember. That's another thing as well. That's true. A lot of parents, they know their mistakes and they don't want it to come back up. They don't even want you to mention it to nobody. So them just start to, you know, ensure that you are quote unquote silenced. And then she said, no, they want us to turn the other cheek and take the emotional abuse. So guys, we need to understand, as I said, if it is that you're a parent, or you're even hoping to become a parent, or you're a parental figure in some way, even a teacher, that is still a parental figure, because kids look up to you for guidance. Sometimes they might trust your word more than the parents, because if Miss says so, you know, parents can't tell nobody. you know, cause guess what, Miss tell me say so, it's there. It's a whole debate, right? I've encountered that. So it's something that we need to look into. Another one, and I think this is a major one. For toxic parenting, another trait is that you make your kids responsible for your happiness.
Oh.
That is a whole lot of responsibility to put on a child.
Or you blame the kid for your sadness.
Oh, exactly. If whenever you me they reach further in life, although once again the child did not just bring themselves here. Just not gonna say, God, this is me I go.
Yeah.
You know, you went for the child.
Yeah.
But let's not even get into that part, right? You know, blame them that, okay, me lose my figure because of that. Or as a father, you know, you have extra bills now because, you know, have this child. Or, you know, it's like they ruined their life in some way. So, you make them responsible for your happiness, or as Lionel say, your sadness.
Yeah.
If one of your parents spent a lot of time telling you how much they gave up for you, in connection with their unhappiness, then they were placing unrealistic expectations on your role in their life. No child should be held accountable for their parents' happiness. Also, parents should never demand that children give up things that make them happy to even out the score. Being forced into this situation will make it difficult for adult children to understand that we are all responsible for our own happiness. And that is something that I remember one of my brothers said to me the other day. We're reading out some stuff about parenting and stuff, and he was saying, a lot of parents who literally gave up their lives for their kids, and I'm not saying that like literally, because they're still here, but they literally invested everything into their kids. They suffer the most when their kids are basically going through adulthood, because when they were younger and the kids were very dependent on them, they were happy with that. Yeah, it did hard and everything, but they felt important. But now when the kids are now adults and trying to fudge out life for themselves, and they're not calling as often, they're not visiting as often, a lot of parents go into depression. A lot of them. I've spoken to a lot of parents now who have adult kids, and that's how a lot, guys, if I was to give you a ratio, 8 out of 10, that's how they feel. Boy, my people them forget me. Boy, they're just busy with life, and boy, if nothing to me, boy, don't even know. But it's that you're not giving room to accept that just like how you were figuring out life, they are now figuring out life. It not means that you're less important, You are just as important. You're still mommy. You're still daddy. We may not call as often, but you cross with mine will eat. We probably do something and I say, if we do this today, probably in a year time, we can do something for mommy, or we can buy the house so mommy can stay. All these things, but we probably don't show it a lot, because also a lot of us weren't taught how to really show we love either. So that's also another aspect of it. But parents, please don't put such a burden, and that is something that can apply to relationships. Never put the burden of your happiness on anybody else, because guess what, the minute they go, your happiness
is
goes. So whether it's a partner or your parents, do not put such a huge role on anybody. Be responsible for your own happiness, right? Another thing that a lot of parents are guilty of, as I said, this segment is really focusing on the things that we need to start changing, whether we are guilty of it or we've experienced it. They make toxic jokes about you. In this society where Jamaican, we love joke. We joke only, but we run some serious jokes.
Serious.
And we don't understand all of these jokes children take through life, right? So all parents occasionally pick on their children. But when the so-called jokes become commonplace, become the norm, this can be a huge problem. You do not need to accept this type of behavior just because your parent has always joked about something, such as your height or your weight. Yeah, man, the weight something on a lot of Jamaican parents. Like, actually, sometimes if you visit your parents, the first thing they tell you, boy, you put on weight. You don't think you need to lose some weight. And the irony of this, a lot of these same parents are overweight.
Don't worry about the maths, man. Don't worry about the maths.
Right? So ultimately, this is an undermining tactic that can make you feel very badly about yourself. But we joke it out because I ramp them around or them a joke this for like 10 years now. It's a joke that they run. So we accept it, but it actually affects us, right? If a parent has a legitimate concern to address with their child, they should be honest and non-critical as opposed to making these jokes. Yeah, man, as you want to say, yeah, man, oh, your maga dong so. That's some serious joke.
And the roughest thing, is that if you walk in the room at 110 pounds, oh, your maga dong so, but if you dare put on 5.
I was about to say
why
that.
You just leg or so?
Mommy, there's no balance. My mother has been guilty of this.
There's no balance.
I point it out because my aunt had to say to her, and when I say aunt, she wasn't even blood related aunt. One of them family friend there would just become like a second mother. And I remember one time I had gained a lot of weight, and mommy was like, boy, you just lose weight so. And when was your age, me never have so much weight, And all those things. And I remember one time now I was going through another season of my life, guys, I lost a lot of weight. Like, you could have see it from me. And boy, you need to eat some food. And one time auntie said, hold on, when she gain weight, you have a problem. When she lose weight, you have a problem. Why are you picking on her? I had so much appreciation for that aunt at that moment, because I never even saw it that way until she said it. I was just taking it and as, oh, mommy, give me her feedback, and she's allowed to. She's my mother, so she can't say it. But until my aunt stepped in and said, you can't do that. When she put on the weight, you have negative things to say. Mm-hmm. When she lose the weight, you still have that. So how can she please you? And that stuck with me up to this day. That happened probably when I was 20, a little bit or whatever. Mm-hmm. And that has stuck with me. So I hope that when I'm eventually a parent, I don't do that. Mm-hmm. And actually, I think because of that now, I also have this obsession now with, like Lana me says, boy, me work out and me stop and whatever. Whether I didn't want to do it or not, I'm probably subconsciously doing it because I want to ensure that when I do visit, that is not our coming. You understand? Mm-hmm. So we don't even understand. We ourselves don't even see how it affects us sometimes until somebody has pointed out, or probably in a moment like this, you hear it and you say, hold on, but true, that's probably why I'm kill up myself to eat salads and this and that and that. And as I said, guys, out of you parents, you yourself need to follow it. Yeah. So, and that's not throwing shade. That is not. Ironically, I said to mommy, I'm doing exercising. You want to do video calls and you want to exercise? Well, I don't know about that. But
they're not in active engagement part.
But have all these comments for you, So we need to look at that. So those toxic jokes, or we think say just joke. No, have a conversation about it. Mm-hmm. And as Lionel pointed out earlier, one of them is they give you the silent treatment. Mm-hmm. So yes, your parents can give you the silent treatment, and we probably all been there. You never have a disagreement, or they told you to do something and you didn't want to do it that way. All of a sudden, they not talk to you.
The whole day that.
Right? It can be hard to talk to someone when you're angry, and shutting out a child with the silent treatment is very damaging and immature. Mm-hmm. Dishing out this passive-aggressive treatment, because that's what it is, hurts any type of relationship. Romantic, friendship, siblingship, parentship. It hurts any work relationship. It hurts any type of relationship and makes the recipient feel pressured into fixing the situation, even when they didn't do anything wrong. And also kids take on that burden. The parent does that and then they feel they need to fix it because, once again, I'm a parent. We need to respect and love my mother or my father. So even though I feel like I'm not wrong, and I probably never did anything wrong, but I need to compensate for how they feel because you don't want your parent feel bad. You don't want them upset at you. You don't want to feel that you disappoint them. Like, those are those are
those are what you call them now.
You don't even understand how that
affects children. I call them psychological seeds that will grow into issues.
That's what I was trying to get at. A lot of parents do those things and don't understand the effect that they're having.
As I said, some of them, we understand that they would have gotten similar treatment and they're just perpetuating it. But if you know that it didn't make you feel good, you should be able to understand that doing it to somebody else is a very high chance they won't feel good either. Exactly. So let's break that cycle.
We need to. And I think that's where we're going to pause it today. As I said, guys, I probably even bit off more than I could chew because, guys, I have way more information on this. Mm-hmm. But as I said, it's something I encourage you guys to look into. You can Google it, you can YouTube it, look into toxic parenting. Read it and see if there's things that you can relate to. Once again, whether you experienced it or you are guilty of it, because it's not too late to make a change. Your pitney can be 20 odd, your pitney can be 40 odd, and you can still go to them after learning now and say, boy, I realize I did these things and I really apologize. I never know no better, but now me know better. And you can probably even still as an adult now tell them, say, listen, I did this with you and I realize it's caused you to be like this. Try not to do that with my grandpitney. Try not to do that with,
you don't want to know, no? As a parent now, no? When I apologize to my child, and my child apologize to them now.
And a lot of parents believe they can't apologize.
Who are the bigger people? You're living your life because your child doing something. You should be setting an example. So if your child sees that you are apologetic and knows and learn when and how to apologize, I'm guessing they would have an example to learn from and will do so when they are in the wrong.
And as Johanna said, honestly, this is something the government should invest in, especially if the parents themselves went through trauma. So I think this is a really good initiative. I don't know who we need to talk to, who we need to call, but as we said, probably when it comes to, parental, so you have the prenatal care and the Lama's classes and you have churches. I think all these things you start in all those spaces.
Yeah. And we'll get some more information for you next week. So you better stay tuned for that. But as Jada was checking earlier, so today, Friday, May 2017 has been declared as National Children's Day. It says celebrate your child today by treating them, give them something nice, like an ice cream, like an outing in the evening, give them like a 1 hour, 2 hour gaming time, make them enjoy themselves, because we are here. This is Child's Month. You want to go ahead and visit the MOEY website or the Instagram page for more information on activities throughout Child's Month. Also want to say happy birthday to Shadi B. That's my little sis, my little stresser. But yeah, big up to her. You don't know, we had a little photo shoot and things, so she put up our pictures, them and things. So happy birthday to you, Shadi B. Enough love and hug and all of them things there. Yeah.
Oh, and yes, happy belated birthday to my dad. His birthday was yesterday. I'm an uncle.
Yeah.
I'm a friend. All of them decide for born the 16th. Big up on yourself.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Bethany. Yeah, big up on yourself.
Happy birthday also to Tawana. Tawana celebrates her birthday today. Happy birthday to you. Make sure you're enjoying yourself as well, alright?
So guys, be safe until we see you next week. Part 2 of the conversation will happen. So ensure you tune in for Talk the Ting with Kim at 7 p.m. next Friday.
Big up to all our guests. Big up to the team there, Sashi Experience. Congrats to our winners. Big up to Sean as well for dropping his voice note. We're going to check the others that you sent. So keep it locked. Fantastic Friday. Have a fantastic weekend.